want to talk about travel a little bit. Shit. Okay. Oh, man, you know, Thailand is cheaper than the U.S. Let us start off with that, man. A cheaper way of living, a higher quality of life. Um, you'll never have a shortage, of women coming after you. Let me tell you that. Thailand is filled with like beautiful women, and it gets to a point where if you're living in the U.S. and you got a few $100,000 in savings or whatever, or it just won't make any difference, man, when it comes to dating. You know what I'm saying? Like in the U.S., you got to be a multi-millionaire to like obtain eight, nines, and tens. You see what I'm saying? But in Thailand, they're available all over the place. Eight, nines, and tens all over the place. There's so many women out there. That's one thing, you know. That and the main thing that I'm moving out there for is to have a higher quality of dating life. You know what I'm saying? A higher quality of women. You know what I'm saying? The only thing is that buying houses and stuff like that, like I guess you can only own 49%, and the other rest of the percentage goes to the shareholders and shit like that. I'm fine. I'm fine with that, man. As long as I own something or I own a piece of something. You know what I'm saying? My thing is to own something, not rent. Okay. If I get enough jackpot money, I can buy piece of a house or a condominium or whatever. You can buy condos. Like if there's 100 condos in one building, you can only own 49%, which is 49 condos in that condominium or whatever. So you can only own a piece of shit. You can't own the whole entire thing. And which is, that makes sense, man. They want to protect their peoples and stuff. They want to make sure, that they're getting their hands, okay, on some property. You know what I'm saying? That you ain't coming in taking over their country and shit like that. It ain't like the U.S. where foreigners could come in and own 100% of the property. You see what I'm saying? And live the American dream just like that. Like, no. You know what I'm saying? Out here in America, it's all about who has the money. You see what I'm saying? Out here in America, it's all about who got the money. Nobody's protected out here, bruh. They don't give a fuck about you out here in America. I can understand why they would put them laws in place like that, so that way foreigners just cannot come in and take over like they do in the U.S. I mean, foreign people, they come in, they take over, bro. And I'm not like talking down on foreign people that live here, but that is the God's truth. People who are foreigners, they get just as much rights as people who live here, especially black people. Okay, you know, Hispanic people come in, they can own businesses and shit like that. I mean, you can own business in Thailand too, man. But you can't own. This is the thing. The thing is, man, you gotta own it with a Thai person. A Thai person has to own that business with you. You see what I'm saying? You can't own the whole entire thing. You see what I'm saying? So they got different laws to protect their peoples, and it should be that way. You see what I'm saying? Foreigners, people should not be able to come into our country and own like buildings and shit. You know, somebody else got to have a hand in that shit. That's why they move. That's why a lot of foreign people move from their country and they move to here so that way they can live the American dream. You know what I'm saying? The government ain't got a hold or a hand in their property. You know what I'm saying? But that's beside the point, bro. That's not my main point. My main point is, you know, moving to Thailand will be a cheaper and a higher quality of living. And I done heard from some expat guys, you know what I'm saying, who's living over there in Thailand. They said that was they said that was the best like move they could ever make. Dude's been living out there for years, and they said they ain't never coming back to the U.S. ever. The best, best fucking goddamn move and the best decision that they have ever made was moving to Thailand, buying property or buying a business, owning a business and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And I don't care, you know, I'll follow the laws there in Thailand as long as I could get away from this fucking godforsaken America. It can't be no worse than America. You see what I'm saying? As long as I'm not in the streets, I want to buy things so that way I won't be in the streets if I ever run out of money or some shit like that. Okay, I got a place to live. I'm not in the streets. You see what I'm saying? I could fly back to the U.S., hit another jackpot, and go right back to Thailand. You see what I'm saying? My thing is to have enough money, enough money to retire on for the rest of my life. Now that's like 500 grand right there. Okay, if I hit enough jackpots, I can save up the money. If I can invest. I mean, I'm just not gonna get the money just for fucking jackpot money. You see what I'm saying? I'm not just not going after jackpot money. I'm gonna be investing money in other things too. So it looks like I won't be able to leave the U.S. until next year. You see what I'm saying? And so I'll be lucky to leave this year, but most likely I'm not going to leave the U.S. this year. So um, Thailand has a lot to offer, bro. You see what I'm saying? Like in America, you know, if you put yourself through school and shit, right? You put yourself through school, you're making a few $100,000 a year. You still don't have a higher quality of life that if you were living in Thailand making 100,000 or $200,000 a year, you definitely would have a higher quality of life there than you would here. Okay, out there with a few hundred grand, you'll be dating eight, nines, and tens. With a few hundred grand out here, bro, you'll be dating land wells and plain Janes. I'm seeing guys out here that are techies, like dating average women, bro, or land wells. Women who have put on a whole lot of weight. They probably wasn't even like that before they got married. Females they love to put on weight after you marry them, right? They turn into that nagging ass fat land well with short hair. You know what I'm saying? And tell you that she can eat whatever she wants. you know, Bitch be chewing on food forever and shit. One time I saw this one guy, this Indian guy, he was driving his girl around, and uh, they both were sitting in the car, and she was sitting in the passenger side just chewing on something. I was like, "What? This is what you married, bruh?" She put on all kinds of pounds. In Thailand, they don't put on all kinds of pounds. That's one thing about like Thailand women is that when you marry them, they stay up in that gym, bro. They don't never ever let the gym go. They stay fit. If you find your Thai wife in the gym, she's gonna be in the gym, after you marry her too. She's never gonna let that go because she knows if she puts on all kinds of pounds that you would fucking leave her for another woman because when you get out there, you're gonna have all types of options. I mean, let's talk about like the dating world in Thailand for a man. Okay, we're talking about like endless a supply of women. We're talking about endless options for men out there. I'm telling you, like, don't get me wrong, like, you know, um, every man out there got their share of women, but really though, you really gonna have your hands full when you get out there. It'll be so fucking goddamn good out there in the dating world for men, right? It'll be so goddamn good that if you lost a girlfriend, you will get another one before the sun goes down. That's how fast you will recover in the dating market. Out here, you lose a girlfriend, that's an automatically 3 month drought. Ain't no such thing in Thailand, okay? There's no such thing in Thailand as an automatically 3 month drought. And that's the life that I want to live, man. That's why I've been just trying to hit jackpots so I can have a better life, man. And I'm not focused on women like a lot of men are right now. I'm talking about American women. Right now, I'm not focused on women. When we get to Thailand, we could do all the focusing on women, you know, as you please. Okay. So, so Thailand, you know, it's not a, it's not like a, it's not a third world country. At first, I thought that Thailand was a third world country. It's not. Thailand does okay. It's not like a. I think it's more like a second world country or somewhere in between third and second, somewhere around there. But it's on the come up. You see what I'm saying? Thailand is on the come up, man. You know, there are rich people that live in Thailand. There are like rich expat guys that live in Thailand. Okay, that own property and stuff like that. And I want to be that guy that owns shit. You know what I'm saying? In Thailand, you know what I'm saying? I'm not like going out there and being in a position where, I'm gonna be homeless because there are some homeless expat guys that came from the U.S. that came from the U.K. They end up getting kicked out of their apartment. You know what I'm saying? Hold on 1 second. Fuck. Okay, so a lot of guys they move to Thailand. They have about like $20,000 in their savings, and they think they can make that stretch, or they got like $30,000 or $40,000 that they have saved up, thinking that they could pinch. You know what I'm saying? They could pinch their way, to old age and shit. Like, no, man, no. Surprises do happen. You know what I'm saying? And you got to pay for them. You see what I'm saying? But there are really poor expat guys that live there that just want to mooch off the cheap things. You see what I'm saying? What they call them, a cheap Charlie or whatever, right? They go out, they move out to Thailand, and they don't have enough money for retirement really. So what they do is they hang out outside of fucking bars and clubs and shit with a drink. Like you know what I'm saying? They don't have enough money to go into the bars or nothing. They don't have enough money. I don't want to be that guy that's hanging out in front of bars just looking for women to come out. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't have enough money to fucking go inside the bar or club. Nah, I want to have enough money to go into the bar, you know what I'm saying, and club and shit, and get me a woman and shit. I want to be a rich man out there. I don't want to be a poor man out there. And there are plenty of fucking poor expat guys, you know what I'm saying, poor foreigners that live in Thailand, and they refuse to go home. And I understand that. They refuse. They don't want to go back to like the USA, or they don't want to go back to like the UK and shit. But they're out there and they're like beggars on the streets, you know what I'm saying? Or like they got like probably like a good $10,000 put away, and they're trying to make that shit stretch. Like, no, that's not gonna work, bro. Retirement, you need $500,000. And there are guys out there that are pinching on $100,000. They got like 100 grand saved up for their retirement, and that's enough for like an old guy. If you 60, $100,000 is enough for an old guy. But for a young guy like me, I needed at least $500,000 to retire, and that's enough to start a business and own some property. That way, I can live comfortably and I can live off the fruits of my labor. I can live really good. I can have the top of the, I can have the top of the fucking women, right? Right. I can have, I can have top tier women if I please, right? I'm not out there struggling. And like I said, there are like expat guys out there that are struggling, trying to make ends meet, pinching off their fucking like whatever they saved up while they was in the UK or the US, right? So I don't want to be one of them guys, bro, that's like struggling in Thailand. Nah, $500,000 before I leave to off to Thailand. I need to have that in my savings. 500 grand. So I got one jackpot I hit. Now I'm going after another one. I'm going right now. I'm going after a $300,000 jackpot, and hopefully I'll hit that soon. Hopefully I hit it this year. You know what I'm saying? So, um, yeah. And another thing about the dating scene, bro, you don't have to settle for no fucking land well. Out here in America, dudes they settle for these fat women, these big old fat land hippos. You know what I'm saying? And they sat their ass inside that classroom, right? Right? I'm going to college. I'm going to college. But they graduate only to fucking marry a fat woman. Wow, you worked hella hard for that? Really, dude? You went to school just to marry a big old giant hippo. The irony of that, right? The fucking irony of that. To go to school, put yourself through college, only to come out to marry a land hippo. Wow. That's amazing, bruh. You see what I'm saying? When I'm looking around these guys, I'm married to this land hippo, and I'm seeing them everywhere, bro. Like driving around, as a couple and shit. I'm seeing a land hippo, maybe in the passenger side, or she might be in the in the driver's seat and shit like that, man. And that's funny for me to hit jackpots, and I didn't have to put myself through school or anything, bro. And I'm living a good life in Thailand. Dude. I got like maids and cooks and stuff for me and shit, and I didn't even have to go to school. That's funny, bro. That you don't even have to go to school to become successful nowadays. That's fucking funny, bro. It's the funny that I just sat on my ass and did some numbers and I hit a jackpot and you had to sit in school for like 4 or 5 years and shit to become a doctor. You had to work hella hard. Shit. That's funny. That's funny, bro. How you could just become successful without fucking going to school and shit, bro. You see what I'm saying? There are ways to become successful, without going to school. You don't have to go to school to be successful. But at the same time, bro, you put yourself through school, but you ended up marrying a land well in the end, though. Now, why did you go to school, bro? Your degree must have been useless or something, or worthless, because you went to school and you got a big old fat woman on the side of you. Okay, that's not good. You're supposed to, you look, man. You're supposed to go to school, get a degree, and have at least a woman that's an 8, 9, or 10 on your arm. All that hard work for nothing? Really? You went to school for nothing? Just to marry a land whale, bro, with some fat feet? You know what I'm saying? Anyway, so let destination, your last destination will be, or your final destination will be Thailand. Okay, if you want to go to Colombia, that's fine, but just a little bit more dangerous in Colombia, bro. If you want to go to Philippines, it's a little bit more dangerous. I'm saying Thailand is a lot more safer than the Philippines or Colombia or Brazil. Philippines, you might get killed by a guy there, but you might get killed out there. And we all know Colombia is a fucking dangerous place. Just recently, your brother got killed, you know, behind his chain months ago. And I'm like, oh, damn, really? Nah, man, go to Thailand, bro. Fuck all the other places, man. I mean, if you want to go to those other places, that's fine. But I'm suggesting that you go to Thailand. If you like Asian women, I like Asian women. So if you like Asian women, go to Thailand, bro. You know what I'm saying? If you like, Hispanic women, go to Colombia. But I warn you, it's a little bit more dangerous there than it is in Thailand. Thailand is pretty much safe. You know what I'm saying? It's not 100% safe. Nowhere is 100% safe, but it's safer than Thailand. And, I mean, it's safer than Colombia and then Brazil or the Philippines. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, I'm in this video, man. I gotta get up out of here. You guys have a good day. Peace out. Take care and bless.